One of the best ways that you can give back in genealogy is to do some indexing. On FamilySearch, they have a way for you to go ahead and make records searchable. And when you do it on FamilySearch, they remain free. At Family History Fanatics, we help you understand your DNA, climb your family tree, and write your ancestor stories along the way. We do this through our YouTube channel with videos like these, through webinars, which you can check out links to in our description, as well as books available on Amazon. So today we're talking about indexing, and indexing is the ultimate way to pay it forward or pay it back for any discoveries that you have found using search forms on FamilySearch. Let's dive in to indexing. So after I sign into FamilySearch with my account, I can go over to indexing, and then I can do web indexing. Click on that, and then your page will load up. You will see some of the batches you've done, the indexing totals you've acquired. Now, this is my teaching account, so my number's a little low, but it's really fun to see your numbers climb and climb. Click on Find a Batch. And if you are just starting out indexing for your very first time, you can click Filter to Beginning Indexing. If you've done this before, go ahead and tackle some intermediate and then eventually some advanced records. So you can see that I have intermediate and I have English, but if you speak any other language, you definitely are needed on the FamilySearch platform, because many researchers like myself don't speak different languages, but there are lots of records waiting for people who do speak a different language than English to do some work. So let's go ahead and find a batch that looks interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and pick U.S. Indiana County Marriage Records. Click Index because the orange bar shows me how much indexing has been done, and the red bar shows me that the reviewing has taken place. So eventually you can work up to being a reviewer. So we'll start with indexing. Now, once the project loads, you're going to see a lot on your screen. So up here in this section, this is the project instructions that I definitely want to pay attention to. It tells you information on what to index, things to remember about this project, and then additional information that helps you when you are doing indexing in general. Be sure to read that for every project that you start indexing. So you can zoom in using these plus and minus buttons over here, and then using your mouse key, whether you're on a laptop, a tablet, or a desktop computer, click and hold with your left finger, and then you can move things around like I'm doing there, probably making you a little dizzy. Some other things I want to point out to you are that you can adjust the image. Sometimes your image is in a different direction, and you might need to rotate the image. You can rotate it back. Occasionally, you'll have records where you need to change the brightness, makes it easier to read, or darkness makes it easier to read, and the contrast. Sometimes you have to really crank up that contrast to make the writing jump off the page. You can do that using those adjustment filters. You can also invert the image. Occasionally, the color doesn't look good, or sometimes it's easier to read white on black than black on white, and so you can do that as well. I'm going to change it back, and then I did a preview of another tool. So this is the referenced image. This reference image can be several pages before the page that you are indexing, so you can compare handwritings, you can see if something's a duplicate. Sometimes you're indexing a front or back of an image, and you can go forward or back in order to reference the document that you're looking for. X out of that, and then you're ready to go further. Now, should this image be indexed, Well, it is a marriage license, so then I would say yes. If it is a duplicate image, sometimes you'll have a series of multiple images and you will have duplicates and you index the first one and not the second. And then occasionally you'll have records, there's no information that you're supposed to extract from that. So you say no extractable data. For this one, it is something I will index. Now this one, just to be sure, I can go back and forth down here and see this is Frank Marr. I have some Marrs in my family tree. And this is Homer Benjamin. So this is a new record, so I'm going to say yes, it needs to be indexed. And then I have Otis Long, another different record. So no duplicates, all marriage records. Go ahead and say next. So I want to go ahead and make this little bar smaller, so you just can always go expand and decrease it using that little button. So let's go through and look for the information on this document on the right and key it into the search form that will be eventually searchable by other users on FamilySearch. So the first one on this particular record is it asks me for the page number. Now, if you ever are unsure what it means by that term, you can always click on this little question mark, expand that, and it tells you what to look for. If it's written 023, type it 23. Lots of different hints to help you if the information you're uncertain about. For this case, the number right there in the upper corner, 523, we'll go ahead and type it. Now we're looking for a record number, often indicated near the beginning of the document or next to the record, but it may be found elsewhere. So we're going to start looking to see if we find a record number on this document. So far, I haven't found one. And I'm not seeing one, and that's okay. There's going to be times where there's information that you want to put into the field, but you cannot because it's not on that record. So what does it say we do? Do not include zeros when the beginning of number is 0, like in 023. Don't confuse the record number with page number. If the record was not numbered, press Control B. So Control plus B for blank, and you can move on. If you can't find it on your keyboard, or if you just like to use the field up at the top, there is one up here, this X in the middle, that will also make it blank. So you have a keyboard you can use, or you can use the icons on screen. So now we're going to look for the groom's name. Frank Marr. Now, it looks like Marr, but it looks like there's extra decorations on this name. So one of the things I like to do is look for multiple instances of the name to see if I can figure out which one it is. That looks like a decorative M. That looks like a Marr. I'm going to look to see further down the page. Here's Marr again. That's his signature rather than the secretary's signature. Aren't these records great to find signatures? Here's another instance, another instance. I'm going to go ahead and put Marr. Now, if you see multiple instances of a last name, go ahead and click on the question mark to see how do you handle when the name is given in multiple spelling variations. So we have his name, and we can continue filling out the form. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So after entering all the information into the computer, I wanted to highlight a couple of things that did throw me off. There was the time where it asked where was the father's given name, or what was the father's given name, and you have to go in and see what the help field says. In this case, it said, if you don't know what the father's given name is, it says if it's blank or was recorded as unknown or some variation, then Control B and skip over that. The other things that was unique to this record, I haven't seen this before. How many times has this person been married? And in this case, groom's number of marriage, it says he's been married 2 times, so I need to make that third. So they actually used a word rather than a number. So for some of us, we get really excited and we start using the tab key to go rapidly through things. And this is one of the times when you have to slow down a little bit and check out the information. Now, oftentimes you're going to come across handwriting or places where you just don't understand what is being written. So here's an example. I'm not really sure where this location is. It looks like Minly County, Indiana. So you're told to type what you see, and a poorly indexed record is better than no indexed record at all. Genealogists can research around mistakes. There's also the reviewer who may look at it during a review process and may see something different and correct it for you. So instead of trying to stress out over whether you have it right or not, do the very best you can. And for those of you from Indiana, if you want to go ahead and tell us so we all know exactly what the scribble means, that would be a fun learning information. The other thing that I found interesting was this record asked you what are the names of the people that officiated, and there's several names that appear on this document, and you really need to go in and read who is the officiator, who is the certifier's given name, and look in these pop-up buttons. You're going to find lots of different areas until you get familiar with that record set. How do you index it? Well, don't worry about asking total strangers. Just come up here and look on this help file and then do the just very best you can. When you get finished, you can go ahead and click Submit a Batch. Now, Submit a Batch will go through and make sure that you have completed all of the required fields and help you see when you've accidentally skipped something. It will not necessarily tell you when information is entered wrong. So be aware of that. If at any time that you don't want to finish a batch, it's okay. Go ahead and send a batch by coming up here to Batch, Return Batch, and nobody's going to count it against you that you didn't finish that batch. I really hope that you will give indexing a try. And if you want to see more videos on Family History Fanatics about FamilySearch, click up here. And if you want to see any more videos about genealogy tips, click right here.